early days of Valorant and any esport where a team like say Boogermen, you've brushed shoulders with Immortals, just speaking of daily production, of how far they've come and where they are now. And if you're going up against a team that has got that ego, you're going to want to deflate it a bit, get the pin and pop it, so to speak, Les.
Yeah, you really are. And I mean, the map is going to be Ascend for people that obviously can see the screen. So it will be the Slimy Boogerman that should be playing on the defensive side. So we are just going to be waiting for the agents to be selected. We can already see things are starting to get locked in pretty quick here. Already got the Omen, got a breach on the one side. That's already a good start. And of course, the ciphers start waiting to see things out here. It looks like maybe a Phoenix. I mean, maybe a little bit of patrol, but I guess we'll have to wait and see for that immediate lock in.
You're right, definitely the troll for Phoenix. Yeah, anytime you see, okay, we got a prankster on one team. For Cypher, I love to see a Cypher in Ascent, and I experienced that for myself yesterday. Just dropped in and seeing the effectiveness, even at the low rank of myself, and yes, incoming comments, shots fired. Cypher, it's like that extra player. We've talked about the effect of it and that sort of holding off that lockdown of one site. We literally have to Cypher one site, no problem. And hopefully we can see that from the teams today. If that's the case, some rotations are going to start to be switched around and maybe a better defense. But with both sides having that Cypher, where they're going to be and how they could be isolated, all the questions.
Yeah, and I mean, we are going to be playing Scent, right? So I think the biggest thing out of this map is, we talk about this every single Sunday Showdown, but I mean, it's all about map control. It's all about getting the right amount of real estate that you can. So a lot more pressure going to be for Phantom Troupe to see how well they can play that attacking side. And it is difficult. Like, I mean, it is... I think it's a really even-based map. Like, I think it's barely one-sided, like it's like a 51-49 kind of thing, but we'll have to see. And I mean, it really just comes down to the agent selection. But now it looks like we are finally getting things underway. So you can see the Slimy Boogerman will be on the green, which of course is the defense. And of course, Phantom Troupe going to be on the attackers.
Stay in sight. Boogerman, is this their comfort zone or not? Time shall tell. And tell you what, Duck looks comfy. Quack, quack. Mighty Duck flying right in there. Not even contested at that point.
Yeah, look at how fast they got the spike down. Like, they've already rushed inside the site. So, like, no damage exchange at all. They're already in the site. And now this is just a complete retake situation for Slimy Boogerman. Already going to be pushing through. They're going to have to break down the door. Anderson's still just creeping through the back of B-main. Ethos just waiting, posted up. This is a really good hole from the attackers, and that's already going to be starting off well. Look, even more damage exchange, not the extra frag, but Instinct does find it. Now just ready to push on through, but the attackers holding their ground.
So well, and at that rate, chipping in for another. Is the 3-on-3? Make that the 3-on-0. Phantom Troupe coming in hard through the gates, and we saw that momentum, that speed early game. That's fire. That's a really good first round. Pistol is going to go all the way to the attackers. Phantom 1-0.
I'm a little bit surprised too. Like, I mean, Slimy Boogerman, they really didn't seem to have any of their members inside the site. So they just allowed Phantom Troupe to really just run through that and get it for free. And I mean, that post plant from them was very, very efficient. I mean, they pretty much held in Boathouse the entire time, played off of each other, and that's exactly what you have to do. And it's a really difficult situation, in my opinion. It's probably one of the hardest sites to retake just because you can have that crossfire.
It's a worthy point to mention, isn't it? And not to light a team up early, but Slimy Boogermen, a bit confusing, leaving the site open, vacant if you will, and being snatched up there by Phantom Troupe. So if you're going to put that to a big play by Phantom Troupe or a misplay by Slimy Boogermen, I'm not too sure leaving the site vacant is the play of the game, but they're still getting some frags. 4 versus the 3, Slimy Boogermen still keeping in this round and didn't really have much of a buy, did they? I think we saw some classics, maybe a Sheriff, a little bit of a Chico.
Miniature Chico, we'll call it. I mean, at this point, they don't really have the economy ready to, use into an efficient manner. So instead, they are just going to be a very light purchase here for the defense. But it is down to a 4-on-3. The Omen for Slimy Boogerman quite low. You can already see the cyber cages are getting thrown, and this is good placement coming in from John. Pushing through. So again, they get the B site for free with no sort of action yet. So they allows them to get in those post plant situations, making this even a bit more difficult for Slimy Boogerman because you can see both players coming from B main with the jet coming through defender side spawn.
Really enjoying the plays from John. We saw the quick highlight on the feed there. He's looking really hot and confident with the placement of his tripwires, of his cages, and just a setup to show you don't have to be a brimstone, to be an omen to do those setups. John, talking of him, holding his ground, and Frosty, he's on edge. He's keeping his opponent on his toes as well, taking out another.
Yeah, and that's already Frosty pushing through, living with only 7 HP left. It is going to be just 2 remaining players for Slimey Boogermen. They're going to get actually hit on the flash, but that's going to be a little bit of exchange. And this is, you know, it's significant damage in the sense that, you know, you took some players down, but this is going to be the bonus round for Phantom because they can keep these weapons, transition it into this next to see if they can maybe potentially take these Phantoms and Vandals away from Slimey Boogermen.
Good use as well of Breach. So Breach and Cypher, 2 players that, or agents I should say, you're not expected to see the top of a scoreboard. It is just round number 2. It's going to round number 3 as we speak. But Breach and Cypher for your carries so far, that's not generic class. That's not generic at all.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the Breach is, I mean, he can just cause such a big commotion. I mean, he has the flashes, he has, you know, the fault line. It just really makes it so difficult for you to get anywhere in the site or even trying to go on those retakes. It can be very beneficial. So definitely love seeing Frosty and everybody putting the Breach to work right now.
I have seen a little bit of Frosty's stream, just, you know, trying to do some research, check out the players of VCS and what they're up to, and he's been on the grind he has, so seeing him have a good game, always love to see hard work paying off, and so far so good in Frosty's neck of the woods. For Slimy Boogermen though, we talked to Vigos, they've got to be get a little bit heated, a little bit of salt base sprinkled on top of it at this point. Hey man, they need some frags, they need to get into this game.
They really do. I mean, we are still so early on, so we'll have to see if they can pan out and transition themselves a little bit better, but they are having a bit of a different setup, so the Cypher are going to be locked in the back of Boathouse, so different now, but Dev going to be throwing the recon, so it will be destroyed, but that is going to be Instinct just spamming away through the Cyber cage, but doesn't find anybody, but finds the head of Frosty, now looking for another, he's able to get it, looking for a third, almost the 4th, but Ethos takes him down. Now Slimey Boogermen, they're able to go through this on a 3v2 situation. The paranoia comes into effect, and now it's all just down to Ethos on a 1v3. And that's going to be that.
Looking for blood. Will be Slimey Boogermen. Tilted them getting back in. They heard the call in, and it's ringing their bell. More so, they're ringing their opponent's bell, taking all of the Phantoms out the server and getting their first round off that giant 0. No one likes to be on a 0 for an individual player or for the team, and no one will speak of it. No 0s in the server currently. 2-1 Phantom, still slightly chugging along, and I wonder, how's that going to be effective for the buy here?
We can already see, so that, you know, the Phantom Troupe, they do have enough money to put the Phantoms and the Vandals on the board. I mean, like we were saying before, that is kind of the bonus round they had, right, because of the 3 weapons, but it allows them to see how they did. But they did enough damage. I mean, they took down 2 players as Slimey Boogermen, but now it's going to be the 1-2 scoreline, and Intox actually looking to see if he can be a bit more aggressive with the Phoenix. They'll hold back a little bit, but now Phantom Troupe changing their game plan, where we've seen the success has been B, but now ready to go for that A site here, Kappa.
Ain't broke, don't fix it. First thought that's going to mind for me, man. I respect the creativity. You got to keep it fresh, and you don't want to become that stale crouton. You drop on the floor and it breaks your toe if it hits it. You really want it to be effective and malleable. But as we see, I'm not too sure if switching up was the play. Frosty being taken out early, and we've sent compliments to him so far. That's a key fragger down.
Yeah, that's already a big key player that's going to be taken out. Intox going to be using Firewall that will be able to heal himself, and one of the big benefits of having Phoenix, and that's going to be the peak from Ethos, but actually will have to fall back as he takes significant damage. Dev able to reposition himself and getting ready with the recon bolt. Duck just on the other side of this dark cover. You can see the flashpoint, the curveball coming out, but it's just a bit too late, and Duck, he's able to waddle his way out of this situation, and now Slimy Boogerman really just holding it down, and Instinct does take him down, and that's going to be the ultimate use from the Cypher, giving up all the location of the enemy players. So now the defense, they know exactly where their opposition is going.
That's a great ult. That really is the time for an ult if you ever see one. 4 versus 3, 15 seconds. Phantom Troupe, you've got to do something. You've got to do it now, or it's going to be the same. 2 players remain. And I really do not see anything coming aside from him. See you guys, these guns, they've got to make their way to the next round.
Yeah, that's a huge play. I mean, the fact that they used the neural theft. I mean, that was the really good placement of using it because, again, the time was ticking. Phantom Troupe, they knew they lost the spike and they just didn't have any sort of control at all to get those trades. They had no position gained at all, and that was a big round considering for Slimey Boogermen. But now tying things back up to a 2-2. Going to be putting a bit of a questionable buy and maybe just a force here from the Phantom Troupe. They want to still keep things going hot. Now, see, do they go back for their B hit, or do they want to try something a little bit different? We haven't seen them try to contest with that mid control yet.
We haven't, and that's shocking, isn't it? With the level of aim we've got in the server right now. Talking to side Boogermen, if you haven't seen Phantom, a couple of them worthy names, Frosty and the gang. Aim is not something they have a problem with. They're well versed, they're practiced, they're going to be in the range on a regular basis. And as you speak of it, you've got a Pugstar checking out mid on Catwalk.
That's going to be Anderson just actually holding the top A rafter, and we'll have to fall back, and that's Ethos just doing a bit of a jump spot through middle, just clearing it out, but actually the Jet's going to be creeping on through. That's going to be Pugstar. He's going to be able to get the free spot down Ethos. That's huge. Perfect timing. And now it's going to be Slimey Boogermen that gets the advantage on the player count. It'll be Zap that's going to be able to clear things off, and now Phantom Troupe looks like they might actually fall back from this plan because we can see 4 players on the defensive side here, Kappa, at A.
John, he's got the advantage, hasn't he, on that thought? It's like, okay, no, guys, this isn't the plate. The rotation surely happened by now. And talking of that, Pugstar, great control of mid. You spoke immediately, Laz, of the coach's corner. Hey, guys, use mid control. And as you see it, that could be a round changer. 30 seconds remain. You do see Phantom going for that rotation station, but they've done this a lot. They've rotated back to B over and over again. Is that going to be on the read for Slimey?
Oh, and look at this, you know, even Instinct, he's getting ready to throw another cyber cage. He has the tripwires ready to go, the camera placement. He now hears it, and that's going to be the Rolling Thunder activated here from the attacker side. 12 seconds ticking. They need to clear the site out. Still one defensive player hanging out in the back, but he's not able to do anything. Instinct, the Instincts are not going to be good here, and now it's going to be control here for Phantom Troupe, but they need to hold on a little bit longer. Paranoia comes through. Pugstar completely blind by the breach. Now you can even see Duck goes for the spray for 1, making it 2. That's going to be a triple, looking for the quad, and that's huge plays from Duck. Quack, quack, we go, and now the lead goes to Phantom Troupe.
Duck, duck, goose. Removing everyone. The chairs are mine. I will sit in all of them. 1-player game, supposedly. Good plays, man, and that's the aim we needed to see. We saw some control at mid. We saw the rotation off from that, and Pugstar not able to dominate the round, but showing as such. You can make those plays, and mid is super, super important. But talking of rotations, what rotation from Phantom? Let's give him the props there.
Yeah, that was perfect. And I mean, you know, I think of the Mighty Ducks. I mean, look at that. That was this individual play that came out for Phantom Troupe, and that's where the individual play that round was just really showing. We saw Pugstar before going in mid, getting a little bit of control, but then Phantom Troupe just really bouncing back and doing the exact same thing, but all with the teammates in the right placement. So now going to be putting a little bit of a dicey buy here for the defense. You can see a couple sheriffs on the board. Not much that they can work with on this terms, but like we said, never count the sheriffs out. They can definitely make the statements they need to, and this is going to be a very good use of Aftershock, and Frosty completely times it perfectly, and look at, even actually flashes himself a little bit, so he's completely blind, but he gets away with it somehow. He's allowed to get another chance at this, closes the door, and Slimey Boogermen, they've only taken one away in the location reveal for Pugstar, and he's got an operator, but he's by himself right now.
I can't get over that. I cannot get over that. I'm flashing in, guys. Takes one. I flashed myself. Don't worry. Full blind still got him. And that's the kind of thing from that CSGO mentality. You're full white on the flash and somehow, some way pulling through. He's not Phoenix, but he's got a running back, lads.
He's got the run it back. Yes, he does. And I mean, the flashes come through in the breach. You can see right below Pugstar. Looks like he's just getting ready to burn it one more time. But Pugstar actually does decide to fall back. And I think they're now going to be giving it away, allowing Phantom Troupe to have the site this round. And at this point, they're just looking to see an exit or two. Burn that economy a little bit. He can hear this instinct. He's close by and gets the spray, but he's not able to make it work. So tripwire comes out. Pugstar finding one. So now it's all a matter of just survival. They just need to survive, and Pugstar picks up another, just cleaning up the house, but Pugstar misses the shot, goes for the updraft, but he's going to get taken down. Eat those with the big candy cane, and now Phantom Troupe going to be on a 4-2.
Someone's not getting Christmas presents this year. someone's not been on their best behaviour. Tell you who has, though. Phantom Troupe doing really good on the aggress so far. 4-2 to score. Slimey Boogermen having a bit of a slippery time on the defense so far. Not playing a poor game by any means, but Phantom Troupe, clutch, left, right, and center, and that is what makes these games tick, and these players and these teams tick as well. Is going to be Slimey Boogermen's poor attack, or have they got some substance? I think they've got some more in the tank yet. I don't think it's over.
Yeah, I definitely think there's still lots more juice or a lot more gas left in the tank. You know, we see this typically, like some of those teams that have the, you know, we'll call them the favorites or more of the slight advantage just based on their experience. You know, they start off a little bit slow. We saw that last week when we were here at the VSS. We might say it here again. But Phantom Troupe, they look like they're getting a little bit more confident on taking these executes. Whereas right now, I mean, Slimey Boogermen, they don't have anything to work with in terms of weapons. So just going to be on the light pistol buy, the Shikos, the Ghosts, everything you need. But I don't know if it's going to be enough yet. But the dark covers comes from both sides. And even Anderson creeping his way through. He's just waiting to see if he can find somebody. But he does.
Okay.
He finds one through. That's going to work. And now the spike going to be planted. But the ult from Pugstar is going to activate. Lands on one. Not able to get the second. Now Phantom Troupe, they're just going to be scattered across the site, and it's just going back and forth.
Bloodshed, Shiko, everywhere. It's down to the 2-on-1. Phantom had to buy, lads. Phantom had to buy this one. They're slipping. And there goes the TP. So getting the hell out of dodge. He does say, you know what? This has got to change, and putting it to his situation, a 2 versus 1. No theft is going to happen, though. Excuse me, the 1 versus 1. Eyes are going to be available. And eyes to the dome for the 3K. What a rotation, what a round. And that was like flipping a coin and just guessing, is it heads or tails? Is it heads or tails, lads?
A complete firefight at that A site. I mean, and hats off to Slimey Boogermen. I mean, you know, again, I was kind of saying they didn't really have the weapons, but you can make damage. Like with the pistols, anything can really happen. But they had a good stack, the right crossfires, and Phantom Troupe, they were just not ready for it. And it came right down to the one-on-one, and Ethos using his ability, his ultimate from the Omen, which he's able to teleport across the map and get the spike down and reposition himself. So he was able to take a little bit more control, but man, was that dicey.
That was super dicey, and 900 Thieves reference at all there. I don't think so.
No, definitely not. But I mean, now I think I did see an operator in the hands of one of the players here in Slimey Boogermen that will be Pugstar to hold it once more. Just getting that cat control, posted up, waiting in mid link. And this, you know, it's a dangerous position to be in because you can wide swing this. I mean, you do have the advantage, but we'll have to see about wide swings. The Zap actually does take down Intox. A bit of a slow peek here from the Phoenix. Allows Phantom Troupe to keep that advantage going. And now even Dev, he's just in the very, very back of defender side spawn, playing a very passive angle. Enough to get information, but it won't matter as Phantom Troupe going back to what they know, the bread and butter, B site Kappa.
The bread and butter of B. And I'm also looking at the map, and as you can see, it's so frustrating the way Phantom Troupe are playing. Super frustrating. Because they're not even showing face. They're getting one pick, and they don't show themselves until the last 30 seconds. Literally, 30 seconds to approach in. Dev's got his recon dart available, and he does have the Hunter's Fury as well, but is he going to stop this in time? I don't think so.
Oh, this is really good. I mean, he did a lot of damage considering he actually does push those attackers back, but now he's actually going to get caught with the paranoia, the dark cover on top of it. So a bit of a double combo that he did not order. Now it looks like they're going to have to fall back. I mean, you can see Deb, he's not even interested in this fight at all. And as well as the Jet, which is Pugstar, they're going to just save these weapons for that next round. But a really good execute here from the attackers. Pugstar holding a tight angle, but a bit of a wrong timing. But now he should have one of his cat lives here because he's able to fall back, and Dev helps him out a little bit longer. But look at this Phantom Troupe. They're on, pushing through.
They are not stopping, are they? Not, they're relentless. They want no saves to be happening. Free fire literally every angle. It's going to have a couple of exit frags with their name on it, though. Taking out finally with their opponent, Slimey Boogermen, not saving the operator, not able to convert that into another round, and it's going to be snagged by Phantom Troupe. So, hey, you see that up? It's ours now. Too late. Tough.
Yes, this should do.
Yeah, this is just, I mean, again, Phantom Troupe, they're really showing a dominant attacking force. I mean, the key things we're noticing that is just working well, they make a lot of noise in one area, but then they decide just to run all the way back and rotate to the other site. So really just throwing these rotations off a little bit here for Slimey Boogermen. and really catching them off guard. And now look at this. We have a Marshall in the hands. I believe that was Dev that was holding it. It is going to be Instinct as well. Close by, or Intox, my apologies, but Frosty takes him down. They might not expect him to be here. He can find this opportunity, gets the one, gets the two. That's going to be two of the Marshall, or the Sheriff, my apologies, but now Ethos comes up big with a double.
Worth a go, and he's making this even also. It's a 3 versus 2. The Sheriff has done magic here for Slimey Boogermen. Fortunate though, Addison gonna caught with Panther in his ankles. He's gonna slip over and try to pick himself up for the next round. Pugster though, he's got this 3 versus 1. He's not a stranger to 3K. He's made some great plays so far. Takes one.
I love how everybody's just picking up this Phantom like Thor's hammer. They're like, all right, can you lift it? No. All right, no, I'll try. Nope, I can't do it either. So Pugstar is the one that can hold it. Can he make the damage though? He is down to 20. 5 bullets. He's not even gonna go for the reload. Look at him. He's so confident he's gonna land this frag, but he's not able to. And Ethos comes up with a quad, and that's a very good round. But again, damage is there. But Slimey Boogermen, they just can't find those closing frags.
Confidence is key for Pugster. Only member of his team on double figures, and for that matter, he's competing against the likes of Ethos, likes of Duck. You've seen Pugster and Duck come head to head so many times in this matchup, and Duck is not really frag different in the sense of how many quantity of frags they have. It's just down to the sort of frags that are happening, and more clutches have come the way of Duck in those crucial stitches. 7-2's the score. Not ideal for Slimey Boogermen, and not even something we mentioned, lads. Let's give credit to Slimey Boogermen. We've got to mention this. How many VODs are there lurking around on the Valorant servers and the interwebs of them? And I'm telling you, Phantom Troupe, they've been doing their research, lads. They seem to have the upper hand in that sense. The strats.
Yeah, I really like that point. I mean, when you start to play more tournaments, there's like a lot more of a chance that everybody's kind of studying you a little bit more. So really good analysis from you, Kappa. I mean, even now, look at this, actually a little bit of a fake from Pugstar. So he actually goes for the fake cloud burst where it looks like he's about to rotate, but he's gonna actually just hang out in the corner, and Zaf using his drone, trying to get rid of any trip wires. I always feel like it reminds me of like a little like our RV race car thing or something, but
You're just waiting for that, like the Game Boy music to kick in as well.
Yeah.
That puts you into a completely different game mode. You're like, oh, what's this? This is called the monotones.
But now look at, I mean, the B site again. There's nobody there. Like the only player that's close by is going to be the Cypher for Slimey Boogermen. Yes, he's got the camera and the placement, but Slimey Boogermen, they have this retake setup. It hasn't been very successful for them, so I'm surprised they're still going for it. But we might try this one more time. But Phantom Troupe, they actually look like they're going to change up their plan. And this is what we kind of noticed before. They go for a site, they fall back, and then change it all of a sudden. Because now look at the defense. They've completely given up this rotation. And now they're rotating again, potentially to A.
This is absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare for the attackers. It will be rotating themselves. Probably too many rotations and getting a bit dizzy in the motion. The plug is getting attempted, and John Flickaroo. Yes, but no. Shut down by the Slimey Boogermen. So flip-flop from site to site. Finally slapping the anchor down, and I think one rotation too many, lads. What was the misplay there? What did they do wrong?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that there was a bit of a too much rotation, and I don't know if it's just being indecisive or anything like that, but I think they're overthinking that round a little bit, because you could see they were ready to go to B, went to A, went back middle. They just seemed to be kind of all over the place. It was around the world, but just not the fun around the world that you always do. So, and then that point, I mean, Phantom Troupe, they are up, 7-3. They can be a little bit more adventurous with their plays and their strategies, but we'll have to wait and see. And even Pugstar, look at this tight angle, takes down the breach, dashes away. He's got the shorty, but he's not able to get any more. And now even Instinct back in market, just going to creep on through. He actually walks through the dark cover, and that's going to be a good play, because now the spike is down, just leaving it to the Omen player of Ethos. And Ethos has been making significant damage this game. But speaking of damage, I mean, he's already taking so much, but he's just going to get taken down by Dev. And now Slimey Boogermen pull up another round as we go in to the last
round.
They're not flukes either, these ones, lads, are they? They're not fluky rounds at all. From what we're seeing, these rounds are threaded together. I think they're making a Christmas sweater here, Slimey Boogermen. And thread by thread, they are putting the snowflakes on top of that red pattern. You can tell, just started getting into the Christmas FIFA, and like there's a current Christmas sweater event going on at work. I'm not going to make one, but I'm going to try and go buy one. Have you got your Christmas sweater, lads?
Oh, dude, I got like 3. I just
Bro.
rotate the 3, and it's just And I got another one juiced up for next year. So this year is just going to be one more rotation.
Oh man, I hate to see. I said I'll be sharing my pick as well, but enough of the sharing from us. The sharing from the server. Duck Goose slamming down the Blade Storm. Knife to the face of the opponent. He's got 2 already.
Yeah, picking up a double, and now he's looking for more. It is going to be Duck trying to get the Blade Storm activated, but it will be deactivated from Intox, and now the spike is going to be down. Eat those. A 1-on-3 situation. Going to be by himself. He still has quite a bit of utility that he can use. The drone coming out. He hears it. He's trying to run away. Doesn't want to get spotted. Goes for the fake TP. But they still read it. They don't fall for it at all. Now the recon bolt going to be locked in on him. No ults to use, but now they know where he is exactly.
Chucking in some Panera, I do believe. Doing what you can with the util. Util less. And time less as we go. 59 HP, 36 seconds, and 3 opponents. Check he called us. He needs to. Not in this situation. And Intox, he's going to toxify the water, put poison in the water hole, and take that round until we go to that next pistol. Second half begins. 7-5. What a turnaround for the Slimey Boogermen. They have a stinker of a start there.
Yeah, they really were. I mean, we saw before Phantom Troupe, like, it looked like it was looking pretty confident for them. But all of a sudden, Slimey Boogermen, they started getting a little bit more that shaken piece, I guess, right? A little bit of reality kicked in, and they started making the climb back. 7-5 is definitely a very, very close game, and definitely not too far away. But now things are going to be switched on the second half. So Phantom Troupe will be playing on the defensive side. And Slimey Boogermen should be on the attacker side. Yes, I thought we saw the glitch again, but we will be going here once more.
Keep your eye on that. And if anyone in the viewers like, yo, what is going on with that overlay? Let us know. Trying to make sure we stay on top of that. Keep you on the ball and keep us on the ball as well. We're only human. And talking of only human, 1 perished already. 5 versus 4 Slimey Boogermen. Grabbing that advantage right away.
Yeah, and you can even see Duck was actually going for a bit of a risky play. Tries to get into the winery, the vineyard, but it was able to get spotted by just the shoulder. So Slimey Boogermen were able, Cheetah, just to really just take that advantage and find him and take him down. And now will be the spike that's going to get planted. So the defense pushed a little bit back now with only 4 members remaining. Not a lot of utility that they can use. Intox still has 2 flashes on the Phoenix that he can use. They are just getting closer, but these post plants are a little bit scary as they are just kind of hanging out by the cyber cage, and now going to push on through, but now Instinct finding 2, leaving it just down to Zaf by himself. The lone man, the anchor. He's going to need to pull up 3 frags, but that's going to be 3 frags for Instinct.
He's going to be the anchor of a tugboat rather than the anchor of the Titanic. It's okay, though. There's still some more rounds to put things into that flow state. And as you go, you've had that flow state. Maybe you've reached it where you're like, okay, I'm feeling it. I've hit my shots for that first half. You've got to start building it block by block again for that second half. Get your economy. And that's another struggle, isn't it? It's not just about hitting your shots. It's about having the weaponry too. Hit your shots, not just with a sheriff every round and putting yourself in that awkward situation. Going for the full save will be the Slimey Boogermen, not taking any risks, lads, not even a sheriff.
Yeah, so they're just going for the full save, and I mean, not a bad call, because then you just have more money into that next round. But it looks like actually they are playing very aggressive, pushing all the way into the attacker side in terms of the mid. So now the attackers are a little bit on the back of the boards, and they're just waiting to see what the defense is going to do. They have control of this mid link, but it's tough because they don't have the strong weapons to find it. And Anderson does find double with the stinger, and that it definitely will sting here for the defense. Now they've maintained this mid control as they take down Ethos, and should be an easy round from Slimey Boogermen.
It wasn't. They picked up, forgive me on that, picked up the SMG by super late there, keeping me on my toes and keeping their opponents most certainly too, with that matter. Doesn't matter if you get the win or loss in that first round. It's so hard to predict what's going to happen for that second run by. You've got to love the economy game and how they've built that. It keeps you guessing, and anyone's guess what to expect. 2 players remain for the Phantom Troupe, and they do not look too interested to get a say here. Oh, see ya, Frosty.
Revealing area.
Sayonara, Frosty. Goodbye, good night. Hope you have a good sleep. And now Zaf, just a classic. Trying to see. Can I find anything? Is there a small opening that I can find? I'd like to buy a frag for nothing. Oh, Will. Oh, no. He actually does take one.
Right.
Takes down Instinct, and Anderson picks up a triple with that stinger. But now it's back to a 7-7 game here, Cuppa.
Gave himself a little metaphoric pat on the back there. Okay, I can get one frag. Don't judge me. I can still do a little bit. 7-7 now is where things are going to start to get a bit interesting. Mistakes are still in that grace period. You've got another couple, but it's getting close to double figures, and double figures for anything tactical FPS is where I think that psychological element comes in. We've mentioned it a lot, lads, and the more that esports develops, the more it's going to come up as a topic. Are you starting to get that mental fatigue? Are you getting frustrated your opponent's reaching the double figures? Where are the teams going to be at, and how are they going to perform? Pugstar, he's straight in, lads. He didn't stop.
Yeah, he's just being the very big first point of entry, so actually he's able to get across to the door, closes it off, and now Phantom Troupe going to allow them to have this site for free. So going to be back on the 5-on-5 retake situation. So Slimy Boogermen, they're going to need to be flawless on their post-plant situation. Look at this. Frosty, he's just trying to spam because the recon bolt's giving it away. And now he's going to go for the flash, goes in, jumps in for one only, and Intox takes him down. Two more members from the defense going to be on the A. Raptor pushing on through. They're in the site, but two members of Slimy Boogermen are underneath. And now it's down to no one. And that's going to be a flawless round. We're almost flawless round from Phantom Troupe, able to take back this lead.
Hot darn. Hot darn indeed. Wow. Good stuff there. Great start from Phantom Troupe in this second half. And just how they started their first one, they come out so strong. And it's hard to get that prediction of, okay, if the team are going to do a straight push, if they go delays, you don't know what to expect. And for Phantom Troupe, they really are playing their cards right with the plays. IGL-wise for Phantom Troupe, props so far.
Yeah, the props are definitely due. And I mean, now the operator back in the hands of Pugstar. No ops going to be in the side here for Slimy Boogerman yet. Money's not quite there, but even Duck actually went for a bit of an updraft just to spot into the B main. I don't believe he spotted this yet, but they actually are going to go for the Y peak. Will be Duck and also his teammate, but he gets a bit too egregious and will get taken down, and Instinct finds the head of him. And this allows Slimy Boogerman now. They have the player advantage, but look at this Frosty. He's actually just going to push on right through. If he times this right, he could potentially pick up a double, but instead he hesitates. A little bit of hesitation to go through this dark cover, but now he realizes he could find this opening, but oh my goodness, he doesn't go for it. Instead, he's going to fall back. He could have potentially just caught these players off guard. They're not waiting for it. They're not even prepared for something like that.
Ladies and gents, seeing that. Trust your instinct. Trust your instinct indeed. Frosty did have the read there, and that's the timing of Valorant. The Valorant timing not working out for him there, and Anderson got to do his best. Take sight. Gen is theirs, and generating some more revenue and maybe another round at this rate. 40 seconds.
40 seconds, and that will be Intox actually going for the spike plan. Goes for a bit of a fake,
30 seconds
which allows the defense players, they see if it's going to be a little bit of a bait and switch, and it does work out as they pick up one more. Slimy Boogermen do have all players remaining, so it is going to be a 3-on-5, but instead actually will be John to fall as well. And a lot of control here. The hunt is on, and you can already see Slimy Boogermen becoming the huntsman, because now they're trying to look for these last two remaining players because they need these rifles to go into this next round, and I think they can hear them. So you can see, look at this, they're completely sandwiching, ready to go, and Anderson goes a bit too slow on the peak, and Ethos takes him down, but now they're fully aware, and you can see they're just pushing for it.
They are ramming speed. Operation Ram the Opponent is a go, and no save as well on that matter. Love to see these, and you've got to feel that tension. If you're a Phantom Troupe, you know it's coming. You know people have their crosshairs poised on every angle surrounding you, and as it looks, they're not going to be oppressed for this one. Keeping their rifles and able to smuggle that Phantom and Vandal into the next round. 8-8, lads, still neck and neck.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, the one thing to note too, and if anybody's kind of curious, why weren't they pushing for it? I mean, Slimy Boogermen, look, we can see their money situation. Like, it's not the greatest, obviously. So, I mean, for them to push on through and kind of take these players down, it doesn't really make sense. I mean, if they can potentially do it, that's great, which does allow that economy to get burned, but it's not the most favorable thing. But now, Pugstar will have the op out again. So those two players remain from Phantom, which maybe will make the difference potentially in this, but we'll have to wait and see.
I think that's the art of Ascent is the timing. It's not even just about those aim duels, is it? And you say, well, that's an obvious statement, Cup of Frag. Sure, timing for every map is essential, but especially for Ascent, with those rotations and you see a few fumbles with a little bit of time left, that's something that I think teams will start to look at, and they are starting to look at with how they're making these rounds work. The timing of throwing that Cypher trap at mid, and as you see, Instinct. He's got the killer, the deadly instinct here. Look at him go. He's got mid control. He's up to market. He's doing his shopping.
Yeah, this is something we've noticed a lot is, I mean, they seem to get up in a lot of real estate really with not too much of a fight. So, I mean, they get the control, but then it's more about what decision do they want to make with that control. And that's where on the defensive side, you have to be quite reactive and you need to know every single situation that's going on. So if you allow that mid to be controlled, you need to have a backup plan. But now we're talking about the backup plans. It will be Henderson. He's going to have to teleport back, get spot with the recon bolt. We'll have to just hang out in the back cap for a little bit longer, but now Slimy Boogermen rushing the spike. Position is going to be gained here in B main, but there is still 2 players remaining on the defensive side locking this down. And look at this off angle from Duck. Frosty ready for the pop flash. That actually does catch at the right time, and now the spike going to fall down, and that's going to be 2 easy frags for Duck. What a great hold from Phantom.
He was the one ducking and clicking the heads as well. Phantom looking good as they grab the lead there. 9-8 to score. We've seen this neck and neck race for a couple of rounds now, and someone on one team trying to get that distance a little bit further. Switching up their plays there were Phantom Troupe, and that's where Slimy Boogermen, they did have some difficulty on their defensive side for the first half, didn't they? They weren't really being the most dynamic in their plays. They were sticking to the same ideas, leaving that A site open and going for that unusual retake. And from Phantom Troupe's difference, they're not doing that. And every round, they're doing something completely different. So unpredictability is key, especially for a set.
It really is, and that just kind of, again, just throws the IGLs completely off guard, keeping you on your toes. Different setups, different situations every single time, and a really good point from you there, Kappa. But I mean, talking about, you know, just getting different positions. I mean, now Slimy Boogermen, they're playing very passive. I mean, all 3 players are actually in the back and middle, just having instinct very, very close on B main. So he's already gotten across. But it's more about if one of these players on the defensive side just decides to go for a little bit of an off swing, that he might be able to catch them. But both players just playing on the sidewalk, posted up together, and Frosty able to use the flash if he needs to help his teammate. This is getting a little bit dicey because now look at even Ethos is a bit off of an angle, very exposed, closes the door. Recon bolt going to come through now from the Slimy Boogermen. Hunter's Fury going to be activated.
Saw the TP in there, lads. Almost saw the TP through the Hunter's Fury. Close stuff there, Frosty. Lovely jubbly, triple.
That's huge. I mean, Frosty already delivering more than he needs to, but now, you know what? He figures, I'll pick up a quad for you boys. No problem. And I'm going to be able to get you to that 10th big round from Phantom. I mean, that was all just down to muscle memory and just the pure aim of him just holding it completely in a bit of a, you know, interesting spot. I mean, very exposed, like we were just saying.
0 room for mistakes. Absolutely -5 room for mistakes. With the jiggle peek setup they had there, him and Duck in the corner, Duck just saying, okay, I've got this on turret, you give the jiggle peek and you bait and switch them in. With that play, Frosty as Breach, utility main for the team, somehow fragging out. Fragalicious in this series so far, and it's 10-8 for this best of 1. So, I mean, Slimy Boogermen, it is possible for the comeback to happen. We just need to see, take that man down. Just take Frosty down, and I think you'll be all right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you have a Breach that's just playing very well like that, I mean, and just able to use the flashpoints, things like that, I mean, it's such a dangerous recipe for disaster. There will be the paranoia that actually does land onto him, but Duck holding this tight angle. So Frosty, he's made it aware that he's in boat, or in the tool shed, sorry, but will be able to fall back. So they don't know that. Duck is sitting there. The camera doesn't actually spot him, so Duck, he might be able to get a couple easy frags. He waits, he sprays, finds one, able to find 2, and he's able to get the spike down, and John able to get the reply back onto Anderson. So that should be the mop up, and that's a big play from Duck because the spike gets dropped, but he was not able to pick up more than 2, but he definitely delivered in that high pressure situation.
I think he ducked out the way of a bunch of bullets too. He did the quick wall, the tactical squat. Oh, watch out! And over the head of him go the bullets. And that was 2 of his opponents. Nope, 1-2, snapping those headshots. And 11-8 to score. Phantom Troupe, they've got style, they've got strats, and they've got the frags in this one. And looking at scoreboard, Instinct sitting 18 frags for Slimey, and when you're looking over on the side of Phantom Troupe, it's kind of an even spread for the frags, lads. Not many frag differences between each of the players.
Yeah, absolutely, and I really do like the point. I mean, I definitely agree. I think you know, duck. I mean, you know, doing some squats or something like that, because just being able to duck up and down. I mean, it's like dodging some serious bullets, and you know, you always wonder how it just your bullets don't connect. And I mean, I'm sure we're gonna be seeing from Slimy Boogermen like, what happened? How did we not hit this person? But they're gonna realize squat's too strong.
Squad's too strong. Someone's been hit at the gym. We're talking of it. It's in those COVID times. Hey, someone's still been doing their bench pressing and bench pressing the team best he can in those clutch situations. He will be. But as we spoke of, though, all players except for one for Phantom Troupe are going to be sitting on the plus 10 frag kill count. And I always like to mention that when you start to get beyond that double figures here in the world of Valorant, I think you get into that sort of next gear, don't you? You sort of go from your first to second. You're starting to get a bit warmed up. When you're into third, you get the double figures. Okay, I'm feeling it now. I've got an idea of my playstyle this game. And when you're looking over towards Slimy Boogerman, you've got two players that are one barely on double figures and one not reaching it. And that's not a frag count to hate, because I know there's a lot of that in FPS. A lot of that of, oh, you're not fragging. But that just shows two players having a tougher game. It puts all the pressure on the other three players, lads. Those top three frags, they've got a lot more work to do.
Yeah, they definitely do, and I mean, you know, that's always the big debate, of course, when we talk about any level of Valorant or any FPS is, you know, picking up those impact frags and putting up numbers on the board. I mean, you know, certain players, if they're not meeting it, I mean, they're definitely doing their work, and that's kind of the thing. Like sometimes the games, they just don't go your way. Whereas right now, I mean, we're seeing, you know, Instinct is top of the board, top of the server with 18-13. Ethos has definitely been running around getting those impact frags as well. So, but all the other players, like even the ones that are in the middle or the bottom, it doesn't matter. They're still doing all the work to put that succession for their teammates to pull up those big numbers.
And off of that point, lads, with regards to Intox, great player, seen some sick aim, and we know Slimy Boogermen are made of a roster, and that most of the key roster that you're seeing there are players that have competed against the likes of Immortals. They've been against those big teams, so they know what it takes to beat them. With that in mind, is a comeback on the card? I likely think so. Maybe we're going to see their infamous overtime on Ascent. I think out of all the maps we've cast, Ascent is probably, in my eyes at least, the most common, the most popular for the overtime. Wouldn't be surprised if we went all the way here.
Yeah, the game is still really close. I mean, it is 8-11. Anybody that's curious, I mean, we are just in a bit of a pause and a timeout right now. Just I think there's just some issues that we're trying to figure out. But you know what? Phantom Troupe just hanging out, having a good old time.
They're doing the conga.
Hi ho, here we go. Off to work we go. Now looks like they are repositioning themselves. I think they're getting ready for that timer to go down. A little bit of fun. I definitely enjoy it, especially with a timeout coming through.
Doing their COVID laps, if you will, getting up and about and stretching their legs before the game, even for the agents as well. Do appreciate that's the first. I've seen the rattlesnake in CSGO, where you hold the right click and you keep the click going on the Glock, and then you look like a rattlesnake. If everyone's holding that down.
Yeah, those are good. Those are always a really good time. But looks like now the timer is finally going down. Everything looks like we are good to go. Going to be a full gun round, standard rifles across the board. No operators yet for anybody. We'll have to see Slimy Boogerman. They got a little few rounds to go on the catch up, but we'll see now as the spike looks like it is going to be advancing itself towards A main and closer to that execute. And they've been able to succeed very well. Even John just has the camera in a very tight angle that allows to see the corner of long that you can see and also the doorway.
John's positioning with the camera has been phenomenal this matchup. He's been getting so much intel. It's just a matter of converting that intel into success. Right on the rest of his teammates to do so. Zaf, he's got the position here on Gardens, and here comes the quick execute again. So, if this is possible, Slimy, they could get themselves back in. They could get that one step closer to the double figures. They've got sight, and it's all in the retake now. Phantom Troupe, what you got?
Yeah, John, actually, nobody has broken the camera yet, so he now knows at least 2 or 3 players are underneath a rafters. So that's a good amount of information for them to properly use their utility. And actually, Phantom, they do have 2 ultimates, so they have the Neural Theft and also the Blaze ready to go if they need to. Duck going to be using it, but not putting it into any work at all. But Slimy, they are going to be sliming their way with those frags because they're just picking up 1, 2, 3, and that is going to be that. And attackers, they pull up the big rounds, big victory to making it 9-11.
That pool's doing wonders for Slightly Boogermen. Not sure who had the Red Bull, but it worked. Maybe sharing it amongst the lads as well. 11-9. Slipping and sliding their way towards that draw. The attempts, and is what they can do so far. You're behind. You know you've got to get the rounds. It's a no-brainer. You've got no choice. Are they going to compete with the same kind of strats they've had? Are they going to switch up? We do see the operator in play from the likes of Duck, though. So can he put it to work?
Yeah, definitely on the defensive side, you want to see an op that's going to be in their hands because you can pretty much manipulate it anywhere you want. Could be the secret ingredient they need, but actually missing that shot, so a little bit of a bait. But now going to have to fall back, reposition, put that op in new position. But now, I mean, the spike is going to get picked up from the Sova. So it looks like they are going to get that cat control quite easily. So putting their attention a little bit here towards A. Looking to see if they can sign the mortgage here once more. Now even they're still baiting the clock, not waiting to go for the attack yet. The defense, they have now leaned more on this A site than before.
Recon coming out there from Dev. Intox being removed in turn though. Duck not hesitating, hitting the target, and Frosty going to do his work as well. It's a 4 versus 3 Phantom Troupe. Got the advantage, so Boogermen, they're slipping up in the right direction here.
Yeah, and that's 2 shots that were missed from Duck, not able to find them with the op. But it will be John to take down Instinct, so the Cypher on Cypher. Commenced, and now Dev still trying to be a little bit on the aggression side. It is going to be down to 2 of them, so Anderson finds the head of Zaf. So it's going to be the 2-on-3, and Dev finds another head of Duck. Now making it back to a 2-and-2, and now it's all down to the 1-on-1. It's going to be the spray, but Ethos comes up big with the Phantom. And that's going to be the demise for Slimy Boogerman because they will lose this round, putting Phantom on the match point.
Epic effort from Slimy Boogerman. You saw the companionship, you saw the teamwork happening in what was, I believe, a 2 versus 4 or a 2 versus 3. I think it was 2 versus 4 actually. So bringing it down to the 1 versus 1, man, so close. It's still doable. They're not out the running. That last round is going to be mandatory for them to win their match point for Phantom Troupe. Slimy Boogermen, it's your VCS Sunday Valorant Showdown going on. What they got? They've got to stay in this. They've got to.
Yeah, they're really going to need to show down now because they need a few more to bringing this back. I mean, we have Phantom Troupe. They are on the match point, but this is where all the pressure really builds up. You need one more round to go. It's not over. Your neck's not out of the woods yet. There will be Duck. Actually finds that shot while he's completely blind. And that's going to connect. That's exactly what they needed to get things started. And Slimy Boogerman already losing one of their duelists early on.
That is worst case. Worst case scenario. Worst case Ontario if you're Canadian. That's awful. That's not a good start. You're looking for that comeback. You're looking to work your way towards match point. Already a player has been deleted. .exe. 12-9. 4 players and make that 3. Slimy Boogermen, they're slipping away from this dub here.
We now Spike still in possession for Dev, so they're going to be using that drone to come out through, so scoping and scouting everything out. Drone just getting all the video footage they need, but it will be Frosty who's just waiting things out. I believe he has the flashpoint that's ready to go, but Ethos, he's actually completely read this, gets the 1, not able to get the second, but Duck does get the last one. So that is going to be that Duck picking up a triple kill with the operator, so Phantom Troupe is going to take this BO1
over and done, and Phantom Troupe taking out what was the bigger team, per se, the name of the 2 teams we saw in today's matchup. Congratulations, Phantom Troupe. Slimy Boogermen unlucky, but I'm sure we'll see plenty more of them in the upcoming weeks as well.
Yeah, really big hats off. I mean, big game for Phantom Troupe, and it is best of 1 in the group stage, but either way, what a great way to start things off. And I mean, Slimy Boogermen still got a few more matches that they can do to pull things through, but unfortunately does not go their way. But a close game nonetheless. I believe that was a 13-9 was the end result score. And definitely close, especially on a map like Ascent.
It was 7-7, it was 8-8, it was 5-5. So many back and forth and just sort of coming to that boiling point, if you will. And who's going to ball first is going to be Phantom Troupe. For who is going to be that MVP, baby? It's going to be Duck. It's going to be Duck, man. Are you surprised?
I'm not. I mean, I think one of the few rounds we saw, there was a couple ops that were not being connected. But again, it's tough to use an op in every single situation. But yeah, it definitely makes sense. 284 of a scoreline. You know, Duck definitely pulling up some big numbers that were really impactful for the game.
Looking all across the server, though, plenty of frags. Everyone above double figures. Not really anyone having a complete stinker. We saw some performances across the board, and a guest appearance there from Frosty as well, with the MMG tag representing on the Phantom Troupe side. I do love to see different players coming across and saying, listen, you to play for this week's roster, let's go, and players just constantly grinding. It's coming up to the end of 2020. We did give a little holler to that, and all these players, especially at VCS, they're pounding things out right till the end of the year.
Yeah, what better way than hanging out here on the Valorant Sunday Showdown? But you know what? We will just be taking a very short break. So make sure to grab a Red Bull, grab whatever you need, grab a snack, and make sure to come back on very quickly. We won't be too long.